time was our asset. We didn't have any other assets. One of the things, our last LP, Play Moolah Rouge, we recorded in 3 days, and we used a live PA in the recording studio and played live and mic'd up through the PA. And the criteria for the songs on the last LP was there were songs that, as a 3-piece, we could play. It would almost mix itself because we're playing together live, recording it hi-fi, but really just adding reverb. And so the criteria for what songs would be on that album were, right, what are the 11 or so songs that we can just do that? Which left some songs that I'd written before Moolah Rouge that they're not more complicated, but they had more melody lines than just the melody of the vocal line. And it required other instruments to play those melody lines, and physically it would take longer to record that, and that's this album. I had 5 songs from before Moolah Rouge, and since Moolah Rouge another 5. And for whatever reason, and as we're doing interviews at the minute recently, it's kind of occurred to us. I was slightly insomniac at the time, for a year or so. And they're all set in the night, or their metaphors are about the night, the moon, the stars, the romantic metaphor, or astronomy, or insomnia itself, or astrology, or the science of radiation, and just using those as metaphors and symbols and imagery. And it was funny that suddenly, not a pre-thought out thing, once we had those songs together, Pete said, yeah, we knew we had a mood here, a single mood, and like Pete said, we came up with the title before we recorded. It helped put us in a bubble of what this album is, and it's the first album that we really, instead of it being a recording of I Am Kloot, it's more like, no, we're making a record, rather than it just being a recording of what we do. I don't know if that makes any sense. And so it gave us, the one asset we had was time. We didn't have any money. We had the use of Blueprint Studios and Guy and Craig from Elbow's room in there to use whenever we wanted, whenever they were around to record. So time was our asset. We didn't have any other assets, apart from the songs and the music and us being together for so long. And so that's what's concentrated this album, I think. That's what's focused it. The time that we had to make it, the fluidity that we had in like choices, and the fact that we've been together 10 years and we can go, yeah, this is going to be good.
It was also the first time you could capture one single mood for an album.
It feels like it, doesn't it?
You know, working with Guy and Craig's we've been friends with them, really good friends since we met, so about 15 years really. And not taking away anything from other producers, but it's a bit of a one-night stand when you work with producers because you don't know them, and they're very good at what they do. But it's such an important thing, they have such an input into what you're recording, how it's going to sound, and if you don't know them very well, I think we've always relied on being a live band. That's how we started, that's how we found our voice, and how we saw our band starting to work, because people would respond at gigs. And then a recording was like a second thought. It was like, you know, yeah, we're going to have to make an LP. So that was a whole new learning curve. But playing live, because we'd been to so many gigs and loved music that we knew what turned us on live, so we replicated that. But in the studio, there's so many things you can do that, you know, you can go off in different ways, and you can end up changing your whole identity. And this was the great thing of working with Guy and Craig again, was that we knew each other as best friends and total respect to them as musicians as well. So there wasn't any concerns about us three would sit after a recording session at night and think, fucking hell, is that right? Is that us? Is that, you know?
Were you surprised when you heard it?
You know, it's only with experience that I look back on the things that we've done, and I'm very proud of pretty much all of the stuff that we've done, but I have seen certain things that I may have done differently. Not massively, but I would say the closeness and the enjoyment and the level of understanding that's been put into this record has made it what it is. Has made it, I think, the best thing that we've done. A very cohesive, one mood, very much. I don't think it's like anything else that's around at the moment, you know. And I know that that's born out of the people that we did it with and how we did it. And as well as that, the way that at the time we recorded it, there was nothing set up as far as what to do with the record afterwards. There was nobody to give it to say, you know, can we put this out here, can we do, there was nothing at all. So during the process of recording it, we went to visit people that we wanted to work with, and over the course of that 18 months, they started off being pretty cool, saying, oh, that sounds quite nice, and you'd send them a few more songs, and so, oh, it's interesting, they'd maybe come and visit in the studio. So it was all organically built out of, from grassroots again, from nothing, really. It felt a wee bit like sort of starting over again for me. I think it's the one time where we've really upped our game in the studio and made a record that stands outside of something that we thought, right, we're going to have to play this live. Whereas when we were recording it, we didn't think that at all. All we wanted to do was make the music fit with the lyrics, but give the lyrics more drama, but reflect it. And it was all about the song and how it would be. It wasn't about what would come later. So it was much more conscious about working with people as something that would last and that would get out there and more people would hear it.